Hi everyone, I'm Zahara Rasheeda. I have created some practical database questions. Today I'm going to explain you the fifth question of database management. So I have explained you other four questions in my previous videos. So this is the fifth question. The board of directors of New Vision Academy had decided to computerize the information of all teachers in the educational institution. The software is being developed by Taraka Software Solution. Assume that you are working as a senior software engineer in this company and you and your team are responsible of creating the database of this software. Create the database according to the instruction given to you as follows. So they have told that the board of the directors in the New Vision Academy has decided to computerize their information about all the teachers in the educational institution. So the software is developed by Taraka Software Solution. So you have to imagine that you are a senior software engineer of that company. So you and your team are responsible to create the database of this software. So they have given us the instructions, so we have to create it. Let's see the first question. Create a database called New Vision Academy to store teachers' data. So that means we have to create a database which is known as New Vision Academy. So for this, I'm going to use a non-official graphical user interface tool which is known as HeidiSQL. So this is the interface of HeidiSQL. Now let's see how to create a new database. I will right click over here and I will select create new, and then you must select database. Now there will be a window appearing, create database. So you can give your database name. So they have told to use New Vision Academy. And then click OK. So here you can see New Vision Academy. Our database had been created. So our first question is complete. Now let's go to the second question. This software has a table called teacher to store teachers' data. Follow the instruction given to create it. So we have to create a table which is named as teacher, and the columns should be these with the data types and the length. Our first column is to create a new table. I will right click upon the New Vision Academy database and then I will select create new table. So here you can enter the table name teacher. By clicking the add button, you can create new columns. The data type of the first column is varchar and the length will be 10. The second column is the first name. Again I will click the add button. Last name. The fourth column is the gender and the length will be 10. contact number, and the last column is the email with the length, and the last column is the email, length will be 50. So here I have created the columns with the instruction they have told, and I will click save. So you can see the table has been created. Our second question is complete. Now let's go to the third question. Enter the data shown in the table below in the database table you have set up above. Do not use the graphical method when entering data here. All data must be entered from the query statement. So they have told that they have given the data which we should enter in the database, but we cannot use the graphical method to enter the data. We must use the query statements. So now let's see how to enter the first data. To type the query, I will select query. First, in HeidiSQL, you can type your query here. To insert a data to a table, in MySQL, we use insert. And then into. Then you should give the database name, which is New Vision Academy. And then dot. After that you should give the table name. So here they have shown, you can select teacher, and then you should enter the column names, and then you should enter the column names. Our first column is and then the second column, comma, last name, comma, the gender, the contact number, and again comma, the last column, which is mail. And then you can close the brackets. After that you should keep a space, value, and again you should open the brackets, and inside the bracket you should give the values. So our first data, TEC 001, we should write the value in we should write the values inside the single commas, and again comma. The name is Hamara. The last name is Mallava. Gender male. Comma, and you should type the contact number. Comma. After that, to end the query, I will use a semicolon. So this is the first query. So this is the way you should write the query to insert data. And to run the query, I will click, and by clicking this, I can execute the query. Now let's see. When I refresh, you can see the data have been entered. Now let's enter the second data. Again, you should write insert into. You should give the database name. And then you should give the table name when you click the dot. Now you should give the column names. The gender. And then you must keep a space. Type values. Now again, inside the brackets, you should enter the values. The first name is Champika. The last name is Pereira. Gender is female. The contact number. And then to finish the query, I will use a semicolon. So this is the second query, that how you should insert the data. I will click this to execute the query, and now I will go to the table and I will refresh the page. You can see the second data have been added. Now let's enter the third data. So this is the third query. Now I will execute. When I click the refresh button, you can see the third query is added. You can see the third data is also added. Okay, now let's enter the last data. Okay, now let's execute the query. When I go to the table and refresh, so you can see all the data have been added. So our third question is complete. So that is how we should answer the fifth question. Hope you understood everything. Thank you.